Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Wa ajil farajahum wal an a'da'ahum ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers, sisters, respected viewers. Inshallah, today we will start a series of lessons regarding Islamic laws, or you can say ahkam or fiqh. The importance of studying Islamic laws is that it informs us of how to carry out our daily tasks, our acts of worship, all the way up until our business transactions. We have a narration from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم ومسلمة. This narration says that it is obligatory for every Muslim man and woman to obtain religious knowledge. Now, what religious knowledge is obligatory for us to study? Is it obligatory for us to come to the Hawza, the Islamic seminary in Najaf or Qum or wherever, and study all the way up until the high levels? No, this is not obligatory. So what is obligatory? It is obligatory on us to study the Islamic laws that we are sure we will fall into. For example, if I am somebody who wants to start a business, it becomes obligatory on me to learn about the Islamic laws in regards to buying and selling, trading, etc. It is also obligatory on all of us to learn how to pray, how to fast, how to pay our khums, and things like this. Now, how do we learn about these laws? Where do we get them from? For most of us, we would obtain these laws from our scholar of choice that we emulate. We would call this our marja' at-taqleed, the mujtahid, the highly qualified scholar who is capable of deriving Islamic laws and providing them to us. So, with that being said, there are 4 ways that a person can carry out their religious duties. The first is what? It is what is known as yaqeen, certainty. Now, this means in regards to things that are very basic, very understandable, that anybody, even non-Muslims, understand that this is what a Muslim does. We call these things ad-daruriyat. For example, I know I have to pray 5 times a day. In this case, I don't have to go read the books of Islamic laws and read narrations and look through the Quran to find out if I have to pray 5 times a day. It's so well known that everybody knows it. Or for example, what do I have to abstain from? It's common knowledge that we cannot commit murder in Islam, or that we cannot harm other people. This is something so obvious that you don't need to look into it in any way to figure it out. This is the first way, and as we said, it only pertains to these basic matters. The second way, which is probably the most common way for most of us, is at-taqleed, emulation, following the qualified mujtahid. Who is the qualified mujtahid? Perhaps you viewers can ask the qualified scholars in your area, your resident scholars at your mosques or at your Husainiyat. Who is the qualified scholar of our time to follow? And this varies from person to person. It is up for you to find out who this is according to the scholars who you speak to. This person who is a mujtahid, who is a qualified scholar, is what? Is somebody capable of deriving Islamic laws from its sources. What are its sources? The Quran, the narrations from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the Imams alayhimus salam, etc. This is somebody who is a mujtahid, capable of ijtihad. We can say this is the third way of carrying out our Islamic practices, our Islamic laws. Cautionary measures that one takes to ensure that they have removed the obligation from their shoulders. For example, if I do not know whether or not something is haram, but I know it's not wajib, meaning I know it's not obligatory for me to do it. I don't know if it's prohibited, but I know it's not obligatory upon me to do that thing, then I must refrain from it. This is an example, a very basic, common example of making ihtiyat, precaution. Now, with this being said, this is not for everybody in every single case. For example, sometimes in cases of precaution, there are conflicting opinions amongst scholars. So one must be a scholar themselves in order to derive the correct ruling in regards to these precautions. So one should be educated in the knowledge of jurisprudence, Islamic laws, etc., to be able to make this differentiate, to make this opinion of themselves, to make this opinion themselves. So we're talking about all these different points and terminologies, etc. Why? To put it very simply, the one who does not act in accordance with one of these things that we had mentioned, which are what? Yaqeen, certainty, ijtihad, being capable of deriving Islamic laws, taqleed, emulating someone who is capable, and the fourth, ihtiyat, precaution. The one who does not act in accordance with these, all of his actions are void. They are not accepted. So if somebody prays in accordance with their own way, from wherever they found it, if it's not from one of these four things, his prayers are not valid. And he must adhere to one of these four ways and pray in accordance with them. He must repeat his prayers. This is the importance of understanding how we follow our Islamic laws. In the coming lessons, we will discuss some matters pertaining to these Islamic laws that we must adhere to, such as our matters of purification, our prayers, etc. وهذا صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.